Hello! I have not been dead. In fact, I've been developing a video game. If you didn't know, I make video games. This is my page on itch.io, and I'm using Firefox at the moment, which is laggy as shit, so sorry about that. Anyhow, the new game is SCP Clicker, which is based on the SCP Foundation, which, if you do not know what that's about, I'll just go over to their homepage. And yes, here it is. Basically, it's a whole bunch of articles about theoretical objects that are strange in some manner, and we have to be protected from them. So, for instance, I'm just going to a random one. This is SCP 2003, which is a thaumiel. It is a, let's see, it's an apparatus allowing a limited degree of travel to and from periods of time in advance of those encountered in the normal course of space-time as understood by mainstream science. It is designed and built by the Foundation, using technology derived from the research into certain SCPs. While its technical capabilities and design are well documented and reproducible if necessary, the scientific and anomalous principles behind its functionality are not understood at this time. It's capable of transporting a living entity contained within its central chamber to a point coterminous with its present location in physical space, but located in a future time period. The amount of time into the future traveled by the subject was related to the amount of energy put into it. An approximate estimate of 3,500 kilowatt hours in order to send a subject 7 months has been documented. However, this relationship becomes unpredictable at higher energy levels. Yeah, anyhow, it's a weird object, and it's a thaumiel class, which is actually fairly rare because those are the class that are basically used to contain other things. So that's interesting. I'm probably going to read more of that. Anyhow, the game. So, first of all, you don't have to pay for it. It is, it has a little, recommended $1, which, if you like it, I would very much appreciate it. I am actively working on it. I have been pushing a new version every single day, so just, you know, if you enjoy it, please help me out. But there is this button here at the top. No thanks, just take me to the downloads. And I'm going to go ahead and download the Windows build, because I'm on Windows right now. And that gives you this, which I'm going to go ahead and extract. And, oh yes, of course, Windows permissions. Here we go! Connection error while getting latest version. Yeah, that's because I have a, whatchamacallit, I have a thing on my computer called a firewall. And if I turn that off real quick and then relaunch it, you'll see that it says, hey, I have the latest version, because I just downloaded it. Also, you might have noticed, these icons randomize on each launch. This currently has a game going, so I'm going to pause it and reset game data. Also, this takes you to the website where it downloaded from, so that's useful if you're going to re-download it. Anyhow, so you start with nothing, and then it's like, oh, money. Yeah, money's probably a good idea. And then it's like, oh, if danger reaches 100%, the world ends. And you can see it's going up slowly, and here it is, going up. And agents, reduce that. So you can see now it's going back down. But you can see my money is also going down. So I'm going to need to get some money. And once you have over 1,000 monies, it says, hey, do you want to do a bank thing? And then that gives you $1 per second. Of course, basically the way you want to get started is you want to get about 20 agents and then kind of very carefully make sure you don't overwhelm their capabilities as you get more bank accounts. But I'm just going to go ahead and cheat real quick, and you can do that too. There's debug tools there for a reason. And so now you can see I have a bunch of money, and I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And you can see once I open 20 of those, I can get a bank now, which I'm going to just do 3 of those real quick, which I'm going to do 4. And basically what happens is they give you a 1 cent multiplier, which basically means that if you don't have enough money, they don't give you as much money. So you see this goes down when there's not as much cash, but once the cash goes up, it goes up. Also, an agent died. That happens. So let's go ahead and hire some more of those. And at this point, we have this to hire replacement agents automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. And once we get to 40, we can hire Class D personnel, which are cheaper and more expendable. Yeah, which it's just, I'm just telling you kind of how it goes to start with. Obviously, you're supposed to kind of figure this out on your own. I will be adding a tip. Basically, this thing that pops up with random tips down here, I'm going to be changing that to kind of display more tips more often, so that you have more potential to like see what's up and get stuff or whatever. Anyhow, for now though, I'm going to go ahead and get a bunch of money so you can send an expedition out to find SCPs, which you can see increases the danger when it activates, and then it has a little progress bar that goes along. And I'm just going to get more cash while that's going. And I don't remember what triggers. There's another function that becomes available that I don't remember what triggers it, so We shall see. Oh yes, an agent died. And we have found the Book of Endings, which, I forget if you can actually... Yeah, you can't currently research this. That is a thing I need to fix. In fact, I don't think I have that in my list of things to fix, so I'm going to go add that to my list right now. But yes, that is one of the SCPs. If you right-click on it, you can read about what it's about, which is pretty cool. And then, obviously I'm going to get more funds. I'm going to send another expedition out. And this time we have got the Failed Werewolf, which gives us a certain amount of research and costs a certain amount of money to contain. And so you can see down here we now have research. We can also research contained SCPs, which is dangerous, but gives us more research. So you can see I'm hitting that a couple of times and watching this value to make sure that we don't end up overwhelming our capabilities. I'm also just going to go ahead and hire some more personnel at this point because I can, and open up more savings accounts because banks, you see it says maximum 500 per second cash, so you can see we're already at that maximum. And then we have bank savings accounts, and you can see our number there is fairly low cash per second. Anyhow, another agent died. Yes, that is a fairly regular occurrence. You might have noticed that the way these percentages change when an agent dies versus when they're created are not the same, and that is intentional because basically it's supposed to be like, oh, you know, when an agent dies, you have to pay like funeral costs and crap. It's not just a simple, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. When you lose an agent, it actually costs you more than just losing that agent. And Class D personnel, however, there's just a direct relationship. However, they do cost a little bit to get rid of. And you can see we found Ronald Reagan cut up while talking, which is actually a really cool SCP. I recommend you read up on it or go to the website to read up on it. And here we have now the option to send out expeditions automatically, which costs some money and gives a little bit of research, and will automatically send this out every time we have enough money. It actually has a small buffer, which I need to increase. Basically, it won't click this unless you have $6,000, or I forget what the number is, but it won't click this unless you have a certain amount of money, and that's so that you can't accidentally run out because you have enough for this, but the amount that you would lose would make your cash flow go negative, and then you'd die because you'd run out of money. Because basically, the way you can lose is if your danger gets to 100% or your cash gets to 0. And now we have self-defense sugar. I'm not making these up. These were made up. It's pretty funny. They're pretty cool. And there's not that many in the game right now. There's 10, I believe? No, there's 10. Here we have the director's cut. Yeah, there's 10 in here right now, so I've shown you 3, 4, 5. I've shown you 5 of them already. I'm going to go ahead and stop now, and this is how you save and exit. You can also just hit escape to exit, which technically this was made for Game Jam where you're only supposed to use the mouse, but the way I figure it is that that's not an essential component of it. Also, this is a debug mode that just is for debugging the UI that I have, and there you go, you get another one. It's called the syringe, and that one I need to change the effect on it because the effect is not what it should be. And yeah, that's everything for now. Thanks for watching, and go check it out.